Before the Savannah Bananas, there was the Indianapolis Clowns. They were one of the most unique baseball teams at the intersection of sport, entertainment, and social change. The Clowns, though, had more to offer than just parlor tricks. Teams throughout the decades consisted of legendary players, while also being legendary itself. They began in the 1930s as the Miami Giants. Their name eventually changed into the Ethiopian Clowns. Their team became known for their athletic and comedic performances. What people saw was a combination of showmanship and baseball acumen. This often included pantomime routines, trick plays, and slapstick comedy. In spite of this, they were still a formidable team with real talent. By 1943, they had joined the Negro American League. They split time between Cincinnati and Indianapolis. Around 1946, they made the permanent move to Indianapolis, once being known as the Cincinnati Clowns and now the Indianapolis Clowns. They continued to lean into comedy for a while until they eventually shifted over into serious play. And when they did, they won 4 Negro American League championships between 1950 and 1954. They became one of the most successful teams in the league's final era. During their time, the Clowns roster included several notable black superstars. One of them being a young Hank Aaron who played shortstop for the Clowns up until 1951 when he was selected by the Boston Braves. The Clowns also broke barriers, not just for black women, but women in general. In 1953, Toni Stone was signed to replace Hank Aaron's position. She was the first woman to play professional baseball full-time on a men's team at this level or above. She battled racism and sexism and was still considered a legitimate athlete, even batting .243 at the time against men. After her time with the Clowns, she was traded to the Kansas City Monarchs, another elite Negro Leagues team. She opened the door for 2 other women to play baseball with the Clowns. One was Peanut Johnson, a pitcher who had a career record of 33-8. The other was Connie Morgan, who played second base. These women became symbols of inspiration and defiance, at a time when gender and racial inequality were deeply embedded into American life. The Clowns did face some criticism, as some were afraid that they would reinforce stereotypes. Others were insistent that they were displaying adversity through art, and their games drew large crowds across the United States. They used baseball as a unifier for black culture and audiences. As Major League Baseball integrated, Negro League baseball teams struggled to survive. The Clowns eventually returned to their roots, and by the time they stopped touring in the 80s, they were known as the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. Their impact is recognized in the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. It's also recognized in the Baseball Hall of Fame, where Toni Stone, Peanut Johnson, and Connie Morgan are also recognized. The Clowns showed that black men and women could be skilled athletes and also entertainers, and also that they belonged in the sport of baseball. This is something that Jesse Cole, the owner of the Savannah Bananas organization, has alluded to and said directly. He recognizes them as pioneers of what the Bananas do today. So much so that he revived the name to bring the team into the Bananas organization, platforming the Clowns as a way to honor them. In every form of sports and entertainment, the Indianapolis Clowns are barrier breakers.